Hi and welcome to Healthy Life Hacks. I'm Jennifer Jefferies, the present day wise woman, a realistic naturopath coming to you from the surfing beaches of Australia. This podcast is for those of you who are wanting to really rock your life and health and live from a place of prevention. Let's get into today's episode. We burn fat faster when we walk. We burn fat faster when we walk. What? Here you are out there flogging yourself, running all the time and wondering why you're not getting ahead. What? Why? When it comes to exercise, so many people think that running is the quickest way to burn fat and lose weight. Guess what? It's not. Walking, brisk walking, can be just as effective, if not more so, for burning fat, particularly long term. Why? Well, the key lies in how fat's utilized for fuel at different intensities of exercise. So I'm going to jump into that. So what's happening in the body when we're wanting to burn fat? Okay, so we know that our body relies on two primary fuel sources during exercise. One, carbohydrates in the form of glycogen, and then fat. So the proportion of fat and carbohydrates burned depends on mostly the intensity of the exercise. Now, at lower intensities like walking, if you're going to walk the dog, for instance, it's got to be a brisk walk, okay? It's not just the walk and sniff kind of thing. But if you're walking, the body tends to use a higher percentage of fat for fuel compared to running. So it's got to be walking at a moderate pace. So when that happens, the body's demands are lower, okay? Fat becomes the primary energy source, not glycogen. If you're walking at a brisk pace, your body can sustain this activity for a longer period without needing to tap into glycogen stores, which means you can get a prolonged fat burning. When you're running, especially at higher speeds, it increases the demand for energy really quickly. And to meet this demand, the body shifts to burning more carbohydrates, because they provide more energy faster than fat. You know, I was watching, there's a new show on Netflix called Sprint, and they followed your fastest 100 and 200 meter runners in the world. And Alice and I, my wife and I, we were so fascinated to see that they sat down to some of the most, what I would consider naturopathically, the most disgusting high GI carbs. Unbelievable. But they were doing it within 2 hours of their race. They wanted it so that they had the maximum amount of carb there for burning fast energy. That's it. They wanted that explosive kind of energy. So running burns more calories overall. Yes, it does. However, it relies on those heavy carbohydrates, which means we don't always burn up the fat proportionally like we do with walking. So what's the difference? If you are a consistent runner, all that kind of stuff, yay, go for you. I want to talk to you people who are not doing anything yet. You think, I should run. I want to lose weight. I want to burn fat. I should be running. Stop. What matters is sustainability and consistency. One of the biggest advantages of walking over running for fat burning is sustainability. So some people, if they go and start running all of a sudden and they're not used to running, they'll get injuries. It takes them out of the game, okay? Most people will find that walking is more enjoyable, less taxing on the body and mind, which allows us to be able to do it for longer periods and more consistently. The other thing is that walking is really easy to maintain long-term. It can be easily integrated within your day-to-day life. You could walk to your commute. You could walk at lunch. I go for walking lunches. I do. I need a really good brain break. If it's a nice sunny day, I'm out there. I'll go for a walk in the sun. Yes, I like the sun. It's okay. You might be able to listen to a podcast while you're out walking. Sometimes I'll listen to an audio book. Sometimes I'll just chant to myself. It doesn't matter. It's about getting out there and doing an exercise that's less physically demanding and also easy to stay motivated over time and do. Why? Because consistency is crucial for any type of long-term fat loss, long-term sustainable change in your health. So I want to touch on the fact that we talk about, there's this fat burning zone and that in the intensity influences that a heat. So if you're walking, general walking, medium good pace, okay, it means it actually keeps you in that fat burning zone, which is about 50 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. So when you're walking, you should be able to hold a conversation, not a super easy, flowy fasting, but you should be able to have enough breath. Okay. 70% of your maximum heart rate. So when we're in this zone, we're in that optimal zone for fat oxidation. Oxidation means burning. So when you're in this range, your body is more efficient at using fat as its primary energy source. Bring on the walking. Where running really typically raises our heart rate above this zone, okay? And it can reduce that proportion of fat burned. More calories over time, however, we want to, especially to get our body back where it's going, for health, we want to be able to minimize fat, not just burn overall. If you're burning, doing big running kind of things and burning muscle and stuff as well, that's not cool. We want your body to be burning fat. So people think, yeah, but if I go for a run, I'm going to burn more calories. Yeah. Running burns more calories per minute than walking. But walking allows you to stay active for longer durations, especially if you're a beginner getting going, okay? Which can lead to a similar or greater calorie burn over time. The post-exercise fat burn that a runner gets, walking at a steady pace, doesn't necessarily give you that same afterburn. No, it doesn't. However, the overall impact on fat metabolism can still be really significant. So especially if you're walking regularly, consistently. Stress and hormone factors. This is a really important one. I talk all the time about staying in the alkaline corridor, because when we're in the alkaline corridor, everything works. So when we're outside, we start messing with our cortisol, okay? So if you are doing excessive high intensity exercise like running, especially if you're not used to it, it can absolutely spike your cortisol, which is our main stress hormone. When that happens, what we do is our body goes, fuck, I'm stressed. And it leads to increased fat storage, particularly visceral fat, the heart attack fat, that stuff that just strangles our organs around our middle. So where walking is actually relaxing and it helps, we consider it, and especially if you are running adrenally tired, I teach my patients to walk, not run, because that lower stress activity can actually help to reduce the cortisol levels, which in itself promotes fat loss. Okay, so yes, running burns more calories overall, blah, blah, blah. But if you're wanting to burn more fat, consistently walk every day at a medium pace that you could hold a light conversation and make it sustainable, okay? Lower impact for a longer time. Walking allows our body to burn a higher percentage of fat. Tap into it. It's easier on our joints. It can be done for longer. And in general, it's so it is absolutely a powerful tool for long-term fat loss and overall good health. Get back to walking. If you're waiting for the energy and that to start running, stop it. Get out and walk and be consistent with it. I want to thank you for being here today. If you enjoyed my podcast, please let me know by leaving a review on Apple Podcast. Every month, I draw one lucky person who leaves a review, have a free 1-hour consultation with me. Be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you're tuning in from so that you always catch the next episode. I welcome your emails and you can write to me at podcast@healthylifehacks.com.au. Until next time, remember, when it comes to life, live it, love it, and get on with it.